Alright guys, so hopefully you did example C and example D. Now I'm going to walk through those with you to make sure that you did it correctly. So starting with example C, we have h of x equals 3 times x minus 1 squared plus 6. So the first thing we want to do is identify the a, the h, and the k. My a in front of the parenthesis is 3. My h inside the parenthesis looks like a -1, but it's opposite, so it's a +1. And then my k here at the end is a +6. So first thing we want to do is find my axis of symmetry. Again, remembering axis of symmetry is x equals h and the opposite of h. So that means I have x equals, and this was a -1, so +1. So I can go in and graph that. So 1 to the right of the y-axis is my axis of symmetry. Then I need to find my vertex. Vertex is determined by h comma k. So my h again was 1, k is 6. So my vertex is 1 comma 6. Now before I plot that point, I want to check my other 2 points to make sure I can fit it on the graph or if I need to relabel. So again, I need to pick 2 points to the right of the axis of symmetry, or the vertex, which is at 1. So the next point to the right would be 2, so I'm going to plug that in. So I've got h of 2 equals 3 times 2 minus 1 squared plus k. And because this was a whole number, I could use nice easy numbers to work with. So that's what I chose. So, oops, not plus k, excuse me, plus 6. It is a k, but it's plus 6. Now I need to solve that down. So first thing inside parentheses, 3 times 2 minus 1 is 1 squared plus 6. Then my exponent, 1 squared is 1, so 3 times 1 plus 6. Then my multiplication, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. So my ordered pair is 2, 9. So I have a feeling looking like that at that already, we're probably going to end up with a value that's going to be bigger than 10, so we're probably going to end up relabeling. And that's okay. So let's put another point to the right of the axis of symmetry. So I did 2, so now I'm going to do 3. So h of 3 equals 3 times 3 minus 1 squared plus 6. Simplify parentheses, so 3 times 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 squared plus 6. Exponent 2 squared is 4, so 3 times 4 plus 6. Multiplication, 3 times 4 is 12, then plus 6, and 12 plus 6 is 18. So my point is 3, 18. So I'm definitely going to need to relabel. These are 6, 9, 18. They're all multiples of 3, so I could do that. I could also count by 2s because that would get me there as well. Right? I'm going to choose to count by 2s. If you choose to count by 3s, that's fine as well. Whatever works as long as you label it correctly and plot the points correctly. So I'm going to make my y-axis counting by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Going down, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, -14, -16, -18, -20. So my first point I need to plot is 1, 6. So that says go right 1 and up to 6. So that's only 3 spots up on this graph. 2, 9 says go right 2 and up to 9. So that's in the middle of 8 and 10 here. So 2, 9. There we go. And 3, 18, right 3 and up to 18. That's directly right there. Now a reminder, I need to mirror these points to the other side. So from here, this was 1 to the right of the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to go 1 to the left, which falls on my y-axis. And then this one was 2 to the right of the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to go 2 to the left of the axis of symmetry. And there is the next point. So now I need to draw my smooth curve, creating my parabola. There we go, and there we go. And then last part, we need to do our comparison. So our comparison, 4 things. First one starts with the A. Did we have an A? Yes, we did. It was 3. 3 is bigger than 1, so that means we had a vertical stretch. by 3. Second thing is reflections. Reflections are shown by negatives in front of A. There is no negative in front of the A, so that means there was no reflection. Again, we can look at our parabola and tell that because it's upward facing. Third thing we're looking at is K to see if there was a vertical shift up or down. K was a positive 6, so that means it was a shift up. So we had a vertical shift up by 6. And fourth thing is the horizontal shift. Did we have one of those? We had an H. It was -1, but they work in opposite, so we moved 1 to the right because it was a positive 1. So we had a horizontal shift right by 1. And there is example C. All right, well, let's take a look at example D here then. So example D, we've got h of x equals 1/2 times x plus 4 squared minus 2. So first thing, let's figure out our A, our H, and our K. So when I look at this, I see an A of 1/2, right? And that's already an indicator to me that I'm going to have to do something a little different with the points I choose because it's a fraction. My H is this positive 4, but remembering H work is opposite, so that's really a -4. And then my K is the -2 here at the end, and those work as they should, so that's a -2. So first thing we want to do after that is our axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is determined by x equals h, and it's the opposite of what it looks like. So x equals, my h looks like positive 4, so that means it is -4. So we'll go into our graph and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and we're going to then draw our axis of symmetry, our little dashed line that'll help us mirror our points. And then we're going to go find our vertex. Well, remembering vertex is h comma k. So h was -4 because it works as an opposite. K was -2. So there is my vertex. Now again, before I plot this point, all right, I want to make sure that I don't need to relabel my graph, and the best way to do that is to pick points and plug them in. So I'm going to pick a point that is to the right of -4. Right? But because this is a 1/2, as we've talked about, right, we're going to ultimately be multiplying by 1/2, which is the same as dividing by the denominator of 2. So I want to choose numbers that are easily divided by 2. Well, the next number after -4 to the right of that, that's easily divided by 2, I believe, is -2. So I'm going to choose the point -2 here. So I've got h of -2 equals 1/2 times -2 plus 4 all squared minus 2. So from there, that should help me end up with a nice even number. Now, it would have been good to check beforehand, but it worked out to make sure that what I'm adding or subtracting with here is also even, so that I have numbers that are going to come out as even numbers in here. So -2 works for that. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this down. So first thing, parentheses, so 1/2 times -2 plus 4 is 2, and 2 squared minus 2. So then exponent 2 squared is 4, so 1/2 times 4 minus 2. Then multiplication, 1/2 times 4, that's the same as dividing 4 by 2, which is 2, and then minus 2. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. So my point there is -2, 0. So then I need to do the same thing for another point. Well, again, I want a nice even point, so 2 more to the right from -2 would be 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 now. So h of 0 equals 1/2 times 0 plus 4 squared minus 2. And then I need to solve. So 1/2 times 0 plus 4 is 4, and then squared minus 2. Then I need to do my exponent. So 1/2 times 4 squared is 16 minus 2. then my multiplication. So 1/2 times 16, that's like 16 divided by 2, which is 8. And then 8 minus 2, and 8 minus 2 is 6. So my point is 0, 6. Now all of those numbers are small enough, so I'm not going to need to relabel. So let's go in and graph those 3 ordered pairs. So -4, -2 tells me to go left 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 2, 1, 2. So there's my vertex on my axis of symmetry, as it should be. Then -2, 0 says go left 2, but don't move up or down. So there's my next point. And then 0, 6 says don't move left or right, but move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I've got my 3 points, but I need to mirror these 2 points to the other side of the axis of symmetry. So again, this point was 2 to the right of the axis of symmetry, so I need to go 1, 2 to the left. And there is that point staying even with the other point. Same thing over here. This point was 4 to the right of the axis of symmetry, so I need to go 4 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is my next point. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to draw my smooth curve as always, and then list my comparison. So comparison, 4 things. First thing we're looking for is, do we have a vertical stretch or shrink? That's determined by A. Now my A here is 1/2, which is less than 1. So that means I have a vertical shrink by 1/2. Then I want to look, do I have a reflection? Well, again, it's an upward facing parabola. Also, there's no negative in front of the 1/2. So that means there was no reflection. Third thing I want to look at is, do I have a K? So did I have a vertical shift up or down? I do have a K, and it's negative, so that means I had a vertical shift down by 2. And then last thing is horizontal shift. So did I move left or right? That's determined by H, and it works as an opposite. So it was +4, but it's really -4 as we've talked about, and that is a shift leftwards. So we had a horizontal shift left by 4. All right, well, those are the 4 examples. Hopefully that answers all your questions. If you have any additionals, please let me know. But otherwise, you should have what you need to complete the remainder of worksheet number 3 from Chapter 8.